you all. Thank you for coming. See you next time.
What's your favorite show to do? What's your favorite deal? I mean, you do so many different things.
Favorite show is a small venue, say 100 to 200 people. That's our favorite show. Yeah.
Close and intimate, because that's what acoustic music was meant to be for. So you can do a big stage with lots of sound system and lights, but we don't get to see the audience's faces or really interact with them as much as we can in a smaller situation.
Because that's really one of the things. A lot of people play music, but it's the connection that you make with your audience that makes people feel like they know you.
Right. And that's the easiest way to do it, is in that type of venue. 100 people, nice, comfortable venue. It's just the great way to go.
Yeah, because it's the funniest thing watching you play. It's amazing to watch the audience come around to your way of thinking. You start off and then you use humor and you use personal stories to engage them and bring them in, and then when you're first time you do a really quiet, sensitive sort of song, they're just like, you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah, you win your audience over, and everybody sets up their set lists in that way to, you start with such and such a song and you work in so that, you don't put people on the spot right away, but you just kind of bring them in gently to it, and pretty soon they're with you. And then, yeah, exactly, when you do a nice quiet song, they're ready to listen to that. They want to hear that,
What's the biggest venue you've played?
Oh, well, let's see. The biggest
10,000?
adult venue would have been University of Montana when we were part of the Alton show, and that was about 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And then this year we had our very first 1,000 kids in one place. That was pretty spectacular.
Was that at a school?
Well,
1,000
it was a venue where the Arts Council brought 8 schools to us. So through the course of the day, we did 1,500 kids, but in one show at a 1,500-seat theater, they brought in 1,000 kids, and that was a first for us just this year after all these years of doing it.
It was high energy.
It was really fun.
It was great.
It was really fun.
It was really good.
And then by contrast, the smallest group of kids we've ever done was this year. We did an outdoor arts council performance for kids, and one little 4-year-old named Isaac was there. One.
And he was great.
And he had a great time. We had a great time with Isaac. Yep.
So is it hard to sell the cardboard guitar to a larger audience?
No, people love the cardboard guitar. The cardboard guitar we got from Ray Jacobs, who's up in Eureka, Montana. Wonderful retired school teacher. Makes all kinds of weird instruments, and when you bring that out, it's like everybody loves it. And you play the blues on it, you play whatever on it. The kids love it and the adults love it, and everyone has to come and see it after the show. They have to come up on stage. I gotta see that guitar. It's a great guitar.
We did a Folk Alliance conference last year in California, and we showcased, we had a booth with all of our fancy stuff and our printed, we thought we were so first class. And for weeks afterwards, we got emails asking about, you guys were the ones with the cardboard guitar. We could have left everything else at home and just had the cardboard guitar.
Don't need
That's what they
anything else.
remembered.
That's what they remembered.
That is so fun. That's such a great prop.
But, yeah, we're going to do Kimmy's autobiographical song called The Girls' Night Out. Who requested that anyway? Somebody over here.
Someone mentioned the Skyboat song. Thanks very much for asking that.
I know that on the bagpipes.
Oh, please. Oh, no.
I'm just learning the bagpipes. I just got the bagpipes like a couple of months ago. I took them right into the classroom and I just killed them with the bagpipes. Well, actually, I did kill them with the bagpipes. Okay, but it was tragic.
We get dozens and hundreds and hundreds. For instance, during that 2-month stretch we were gone to the Dakotas and LA, we did approximately 6,000 students during that time, and we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of letters. The teachers have them write thank you notes and they draw pictures, and we have more stick figures of the two of us than you'll ever know. And so
we look pretty thin on those.
We look great,
pictures.
yeah. We appreciate that version of us. So, would you give me a pick, please? So we have tons and tons of letters that we have a Rubbermaid full, and we know that someday when we're in the nursing home and we can't travel and we can't do anything else except eat oatmeal and read those letters, that we are going to smile all the way because we're going to relive our experiences through those little children's eyes. And so we read every one of them, and then we carefully put them in the envelope with which school it came from, and we keep them. And we have a huge tub of these. Well, after he got the bagpipes, we got a batch of letters.
Can we love your bagpipes?
No.
Oh.
There was a repeating theme from one group of fifth graders. We really had fun. Glad you came. We had a fun time. We like to dance. We teach the kids dancing. We love dancing. We love the instruments. Can't wait till you come back and Kenny can play the bagpipes better.
Well, I had just gotten them 2 days before we went into the
I
school.
know. But we have to tease anybody who plays the bagpipes. So there you go.
We've worked really hard over all these years to come up with a really, really good, solid educational program, everywhere from an assembly to week-long residencies, and those are very important to us. We really enjoy working with the young people and showing them our crazy instruments like the cardboard guitar.
That's right.
And getting them to sing and dance and have fun with folk music, because our culture has lost that. They're all so steeped in media that they've forgotten how to just relax and have fun, and that music can be made at another level besides the glitz they see on TV or hear on the radio. So we really, really enjoy working with the kids and try to make all of our efforts, whether it's a 45-minute assembly or a week-long residency, curriculum adaptable. There's lots of really good crossovers in curriculum.
We're using cultural acceptance and cultural awareness now to sort of use that kind of a program. So we present our Irish and Scottish heritage, which we are, and the instruments and songs and stories and cultural things from those cultures to help bring out what the kids' cultures are, and we send them home to find out, what am I? And then we all talk about that, and it's just a great way for kids to kind of discover, oh, I'm different, and I do this, and it's a great thing to be different.
But not too different.
Not too different. Yeah, you don't want to be too different.
You give her an A, fella.
But it's really a fine line you walk when you're trying to promote yourself or get someone to hire you, because you don't want to come off as necessarily cheap or easy or desperate. On the other hand, you really do need to let them know that you're eager and available and flexible and can fit lots of venues and formats. And that is what we do the best. Is we've done everything from Quonset huts in North Dakota to we played in a jury box in Idaho City, and then the big stages and everything in between. So we try really hard to fit the community, fit the venue, fit this. We try to get a sense of communities when we come in. We don't just come in and say, where's the stage, set me up, I play, I leave. We try to read the local history, spend a little bit of time and meet people, and really not necessarily tailor the show to the community, because what we do is pretty set, but to really get a sense for who we're going to be working with and sharing with, because it is a sharing. It's not just that we do a performance and leave. We really, really want to get a sense for the people in the community in that place.
So this is a great song for the women in the audience. I know that Kelly and I, Ken's daughter, are probably the only two. No, Virginia, are the three of us are the only three that's ever been accused of being a broom rider. Is that right? If you have been accused and you weren't proud of it before, this is your song. This is your anthem. We will sing to the broom riders, and if you feel like standing at attention, putting your hand over your heart, that'll be just great. I have two beautiful daughters of my own, and they've been singing this song most of their lives, and our family theme is Ride, Girls, Ride. She asked what I was all about. I asked if I could take the broom. I'm going to meet the girls. Oh, the moon is waxed tonight, and don't you like the fellas? Well, I prefer the girls tonight. I'm going to ride the wind, 'cause it's a girls' night out. Away asked if she could come with me. I saw her up above the trees, going to ride the wind. And oh, the moon is waxed tonight. Don't you like the fellas? Well, I prefer the girls tonight. I'm going to ride the wind, 'cause it's a girls' night out. Away, you merry lasses, get your brooms, get 'em out. We'll ride the wind tonight, oh, it's a girls' night out. Away, you merry lasses, get your brooms, get 'em out. We'll ride the wind tonight. As we were going out the gate, we met our dear old mother, riding a broom and humming a tune, going to meet the girls. And oh, the moon is waxed tonight, and don't you like the fellas? Well, I prefer the girls tonight. I'm going to ride the wind, 'cause it's a girls' night out. Away, you merry lasses, get your brooms, get 'em out. We'll ride the wind tonight, oh, it's a girls' night out. Away, you merry lasses, get your brooms, get 'em out. We'll ride the wind tonight.
It's been interesting, of course, the longer you do this, and when you come back to communities and you replay somewhere that you played years ago, that's exactly what's been happening lately with our longevity, is that we've had some beautiful college students, beautiful people with their own babies now coming to us and saying, oh, you came to my school when I was in 5th grade or whatever and taught me to dance, and I still remember that. And we've had young people go on to music careers and email us or send us notes saying this is what we've done and we remember you coming. And not that we were, you know, the reason why they did that, but that they remembered is really, really an honor. And so the longer you do this, of course, that is your reward, to see that what we're trying to do is pass on that joy, and it's working at some level. And
It's the whole live music and live performance thing. You know, you get in front of an audience, and there is that connection and that interaction that you simply don't get with television or with albums. I mean, you can connect with an album when you listen to it, but if you go to this concert of those artists and they're playing that music, you connect so much more on an interpersonal level. I mean, you don't even, who knows how it happens, but it just happens. And so, yeah, you touch someone like that, and they come back 10 years later and say, I saw you, and they might have seen you for a half hour, and yet they still remember.
the other thing too about live performance to me is that each performance, and part of it is the venue, what the setting is, part of it is the community, the people who are actually there, part of it is I don't know, maybe even barometric pressure has a play there, but every single performance is its own being, and the people that come and the amount of energy that's in the room, the amount of applause, the applause has its own breathing, so each performance becomes an entity of itself. And so every time you say, oh, I've experienced everything, I've done this for so many years now, we've been in every kind of situation, nothing will be different about tomorrow's performance, and every single performance is completely different. And part of that is right now we've seen right now that people are hungry for that interaction. They really, really want to have something soulful and meaningful and personal, because they have been so disconnected with television and radio and iPods and all the things that you can get, the perfect music in your ears, but you do not get the personal experience of sitting with your community members, of laughing or singing along or enjoying the storytelling that we do between songs. So we're finding that people right now are really hungry for that, and they're coming back to the live performance.
That's right. Well, one of the things that it seems like is happening is that once again there's a resurgence of folk music just on the edge of the horizon. It's kind of been dipping down for a while now, and the young people, the younger kids now are picking up acoustic guitars again, and they're playing their own music. It's like, whoa, we've seen this happen like 3 or 4 times in our lifetimes, and it's just great to see it happen again. You know, kids are doing it. The young kids are playing songs from their hearts, and they're just doing great music. So it's right on the cusp. So all you young kids, get out there and get your guitars going. Yeah.
The girls have all gone on a spree. They left us here, the dog and me. They almost swept us off our feet, going to ride the wind. And oh, the moon is waxed tonight. There will be no fellas. We will wait and wonder while they go to ride the wind. 'Cause it's the girls' night out.
Away, you merry lasses, get your brooms, get 'em out. We'll ride the wind tonight. Oh, it's the girls' night out. Away, one of the things that's different about our version of traditional music, though, is that we try really hard not to be pretenders that we are from Ireland or Scotland. We are just have that ancestry. We do our version of Celtic music from our perspective as modern people living in the western United States. The Rocky Mountain region has always been our home, and so the music that we've heard and translated into something that's ours makes it completely different than listening to a traditional band from Ireland or Scotland. And that's been a wonderful thing happening even out here in the West now. You get a lot of traditional bands coming out west because they love it and it's a great experience, and audiences are now educated as to what that music is and what it sounds like. But Ken and I have always prided ourselves in not trying to pretend to do that. We're not dishing you back something that we aren't.
Right.
We take it and mold it into who we are and how we hear the music and how we want to present it, which is in a more contemporary fashion, keeping that traditional roots, because I don't want to alter those traditions, but I want to make it mine, and I want to make it that audience's I want to make it available to them to be able to digest that without their mind saying, well, they're suddenly singing with an accent, and they're not really from there, but they, and that's such a catch in people's ears. They understand that it's not real if I'm trying to give it to them in a different way other than who I am.
So we call our music Rocky Mountain Celtic music. So it kind of says, we've taken the Celtic music that's in our culture and is in us, and we sort of filter it through our own experiences, and we live in the Rocky Mountains, so there you go. That's what we call it, Rocky Mountain Celtic. Kim had another part to that.
Oh, well, non-traditional by design.
How many different instruments do you play?
I only play 2 now. I used to play a lot more, but on stage I only use 2. I used to use a banjo and other stuff, but it's just easier to concentrate on 2 for me, But Kimmy, on the other hand, I don't know. What do you play? 40?
Well, there's times when we're setting up and tearing down that I was wishing I only played 1, but harp, harp, hammer, dulcimer, mount dulcimer, guitar, drum.
That's about
That's
it on
about
stage.
it.
Yeah, that's it on
about
stage.
5.
But then you're
accordion.
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 Got the accordion for crying out loud.
The lap organ.
The lap organ.
Yeah, the Stomach Steinway.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I heard a story just recently, and there was a young boy who had experienced a very extreme trauma, and he was basically in a coma. He hadn't showed any sign of response to anything. And 3 of his classmates that had been his classmates when he was younger in elementary school stopped by, and they sang a song that they used to sing together. And he opened his eyes.
Whoa. That's powerful stuff there.
It's powerful stuff.
It is powerful
That
stuff.
was part of his experience that was beyond the scope of anything that anybody at that point in time could offer him.
Right.
And it was something that was so simple, but it was something that was so much a part of his experience and his heart and his emotion.
Right, deeper than his consciousness.
Deeper than consciousness, right. It was in his subconscious that he heard that song, and he heard their voices, and he opened his eyes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's powerful stuff, and that's what roots music and cultural music does to people. It's deep within you. It's deeper than your consciousness, and if you hear it in that setting, it's amazing. It just pulls you right out.
We're always amazed too after every concert. I mean, we talk to so many people. We invite them on stage to come and look at our instruments, and we talk about how they're played and let them try them if they want. I always call it our instrument petting zoo, because it's important to me to let people come and see close up what we've been doing that they've been watching from a distance. And it's always amazing during those times when people are up close and looking at instruments and asking questions, that each person that talks to me, one thing of the night. Yeah, now we got helicopter.
Not part of the show. This is part of the show.
This is part of the show.
The helicopters fly over, and Willson and Mckee Mckee then descend from the helicopters, rappel
Those,
down to the venue.
those would be our
It looks
Secret
like two
Service
Hershey's
guys.
Kisses being dropped from 40 feet.
I was thinking that was our Secret Service guys up there protecting us from our fans who are rushing
That's
over
right.
here.
When I see your live performance, or it doesn't matter whether I go to the recording first or the live performance first, for the most part, it is so close. It's just
yeah.
amazing.
We try to do that, and in the studio, it's a lot of fun in the studio. You get to add a few things, and we do add a few things. We'll add a cello line, we'll add some extra vocals, we'll add a little of this, but it all stays within those parameters of the live sound, so that you won't miss it if it's not there. And so if you hear it, it sounds very similar, and that's our goal. We don't want to have people buy the album and take it home and go, well, who are these guys? You know, I don't know who this band is. Yeah.
We have the sense that whatever they heard that night, if it moved them enough to want to buy the CD and take a certain song home with them or a certain tune home with them, they need to hear again what they heard. And that stems from one of the earliest live concerts I ever went to, where a song moved me to tears, and I rushed out to the lobby and bought the LP. Oh my gosh, is that old? Bought the LP, took it home, and put that particular song on, and it was nothing like what I heard, and I was never so disappointed. So we've focused really hard on making sure that our job is to let that audience repeat that experience as close as possible. And like Ken said, we might add a cello, but whatever we add is only on a few tracks of the album.
It's the amazing thing of our computer age is that we can send a piece of a song to Ireland and have a friend put an Ilian pipe track on the thing, send it back to us, and we mix it in and make it all work. It's amazing technology. That's the beauty of the technology age, is that you can do that worldwide. You can get a bit of Ireland right on the album there.
So then you have that, plus the fact that everything else is you create this experience for people that they can hear the live acoustic sound just like they were sitting in the living room.
Yeah, exactly.
We do all of our own recording. Kenny's the tech guy for our live sound as well as our recording, so he does all of the...
Another thankless job. Another totally thankless, brutal job is
you
recording.
whining?
Yes,
He
I'm
is
whining.
whining.
He is
I am
whining.
whining. It's so difficult.
This is a live whine.
A live wine, and it's so difficult doing recording anything with sound because it's totally subjective. There's nothing objective about sound whatsoever. It's all how you perceive what you're hearing, and yet
Having your own control of
Yeah.
your own
Yeah.
sound and your own recording,
Yeah.
whether it's live or in the studio, gives you such complete control that you can feel really, really satisfied. You can also be very frustrated, but you know that you have control and you have enough time to change that. And the same in a live setting, when he's running our sound, we know exactly what we're dealing with. And if you have a sound person and you're trying to give obscure words like, well, it's a little shrill, and then and he's hearing it different than you are, and he doesn't know what your sound is. So doing your own sound for all of his whining
I know.
is
Yeah.
actually really a lot less stress on us
It
than
is.
working with sound people or working in the studio with an engineer. When we have control, it's much easier, I think.
Yeah,
But
because
you're
you know
doing
what
all
you
the
sound
work.
like, and you know what you want to sound like, and that's
It's almost
worth
like
it.
having a third instrument in.
In fact,
playing,
it is
as you
because
said.
you can color things.
Yeah.
You can push things forward and back and make them colored in certain ways that you simply can't do with a third party. I mean, they will be doing that in their way, but you want it your way as the artist. You want it to be the way you want it. So yeah.
And then you come out and recreate that on stage.
Yeah. Well, you try. Yeah. You try to do.
On your tours, you eat a variety of food.
Yes, exciting
That's
food.
Exciting food.
Yes, McDonald's.
Musical food.
Yeah, musical food, but then we stop in places and people cook for us. But the road life, it's like, as road musicians, we're kind of like gypsies. And someone asked me the other day, well, what are you going to do when you get tired of traveling? And I couldn't relate to the question. What do you mean, get tired of traveling? It doesn't happen. We want to see what's around the bend all the time. We're just, both of us somehow are affixed to that. And so, Yeah, you do wind up eating a lot of odd food and staying in odd places, but we meet people all over the country, and that's really what it's about.
The meeting the people, sharing the music, the lifestyle as you age gets a little more difficult, but we still love it. We get itchy feet if we're home for longer. We were home for actually 8 weeks in a row. We had 8 weeks off, and both of us were just going nuts. We didn't know what to do with ourselves, and the first week was a nice casual relaxing time, and the only time I wake up in the night not knowing where I am, I can change motels every night, I'm fine. The only time I wake up in the middle of the night thinking where am I is when I'm at home. So but trying to juggle your food and your schedule and your driving and changing time zones, and of course we're ground bound, we have to drive everywhere because of all the instruments and equipment, but just in the course of this particular tour, we've met a helicopter pilot, a mustache wax salesman, a man from Japan who is a photographer, a woman from Hungary who played cimbalom back in her home country. We meet the most incredible people that feeds our soul every bit as much as that time on stage, just great. Oh, and then we met a guy, David Calladine, a fabulous organist for the Rockettes back in New York. We just meet the greatest people, and from every walk of life, and just out of the blue, that you would never dream you would meet those people. And if you stay in one community always, then you meet the great people around there, but we get to meet them all over the place.
And the best thing is that we take their stories with us and we tell them on stage. So we're kind of like newspapers. We travel from town to town and we say, hey, back in that town back there's this guy that does this. And so we are newspapers for the country. Yeah, kind of, I guess, underground, but there you go.
Town crier.
Yeah, the town
Town
crier.
crier.
So that's the cultural way of news spreading from place
Spreading
to place.
information.
Yeah,
Wait, do the Friends thing. We travel around, we meet a lot of people, it's cool.
But if we ever stop traveling, we won't be able to go see all those incredible people that we've made friends with all over the country.
Right.
So we can't stop.
That's right, we can't.
Can't stop.
And yeah, so we're just going to keep doing it.
Forever.
Yeah. When we retire, I don't know what'll happen. We won't retire.
A plane will come and pick us up.
A plane will come and pick us up, and then someone will route something onto our back that says, retired, but not out.
Rerouted.
Rerouted. Okay, I guess we're done.